At the outset, can I warmly congratulate Senator Alice Mary and Senator Lynn Ruane on bringing forward this motion and any other signatories of it. It's a very worthy motion and a worthy discussion, and I don't think there's any fundamental disagreement on the principles behind it. It's a question of how you achieve these things. So I do welcome the motion, and no matter what position people take, it's important that it's on the floor of the House. I also welcome my colleague and friend and near neighbour, Minister Damien English, and I will say, and I'm saying this in a very non-partisan way, it's an objective fact, Damien is a doer. So if there's anything coming out of tonight that he picks up and it can be achieved, he will do it, and we'll get after it. I agree, the statistics cited by Senator Alice Mary in relation to 5.8% of people living in Africa being fully vaccinated is a very disappointing. It's a very obviously, well, it's a bizarrely low figure. 27% of healthcare workers is also low, and obviously we all know the principle that nobody is safe until everybody is safe, and the risk of variance there. Now, there's a problem in Eastern Europe as well, and to this extent, while what we're discussing here is important, there are other issues and variables here too. There's a problem in Eastern Europe because of a traditional fear of the state and of totalitarianism. There's a reluctance to accept the vaccine in a number of Eastern European states, and you have, as low, I'm aware that in Georgia the figure is 30% acceptance, and in countries along the Eastern Europe, that's a dominant kind of a trend. There are a few things that merit saying by way, vaccine production is at 12 billion doses by the end of 2021. The EU has exported 1.4 billion doses to 150 countries. It has given 46 billion in support of poorer countries. Ireland has given, the EU rather, has given 3.2 billion to the COVAX programme. Ireland has given 3 million vaccines to low-income countries, and they've gone to Uganda, Nigeria, Indonesia. And those are important statistics. As I was saying earlier, Team Europe has mobilised 46 billion in support of partner countries. And so the COVAX programme is obviously very, very important, and we've been a very strong supporter of that. The first 500,000 doses reached Nigeria in November. More than 100,000 went to Indonesia, and over 300,000 to Uganda. And Ireland has given €7 million to COVAX. So those are the positives. And I suppose where some of the difficulties arise here, and the Minister will probably elaborate more on this later, is that we operate our trade relationships and our trading situation within the EU. The EU, if you like, are our overall trading negotiator, and we are a part of that. And the EU and the WTO, the intellectual properties are under the domain and the control of the WTO, and there's an interaction there. And while that's all frustrating for a small country like Ireland, it is the truth and it is the reality of where we're operating from. The position emerging from the EU countries basically is that they look to, rather than a total TRIPS waiver, they're suggesting something less than that in other production. They want to negotiate the compulsory licences. The EU remains open to discussing with the WTO the licensing system that merit clarification, and they want to swiftly grant compulsory licences, and they put that system into place. there's a meeting, actually it's programmed for tomorrow on the 16th of December. We'll discuss bilateral contact between delegations and a possible way forward on this. So maybe some progress would come out of tomorrow. It wants to continue dialogue. The EU is their stated position with the WTO members and explore how the multilateral rules-based trading system can best support universal and equitable access to COVID vaccines. So basically they want to go on negotiating within it. Now some of the arguments, I know my good friend Senator Alice Mary is dismissive of them, but there is a certain logic. She did say herself that even if in the morning you bring a TRIPS waiver automatically and worldwide, it would take up to 3 months on her assessments to get the production systems going. There is an argument around production and there's an argument around distribution systems. So I suppose it's a question of, we're all on the one page here. It's how do you get to the end result? And our modification of the and I want to formally second it, but the modification of the amendment or of the motion by which you get to the end result. But there's no objection to the principle here. Thank you.